The link for joining it or like the YouTube link?
Whatever.
Okay, I think I'll just post both.
Okay. All right. So we're starting after a horrendous amount of shit went wrong, which nobody knows why. Not even the person who created Google, Steve. It wasn't Steve Jobs. But yeah, we're just gonna do a slightly unusual structure for this weekend. So we're gonna do all our news on Saturday, and then do two movie of the weeks tomorrow. Maybe we'll have to see. But basically, we missed last week because we're all busy and shit. So yeah, let's get started then, shall we? I think we have a lot to talk about, but such as Popeye, um, some sequels and all that shit. But first, we're going to talk about somebody dying. A lot of people dying.
Yeah.
Um, Terry Pratchett, which I'd like to talk about later. But
Oh,
first, we're
sure.
going to start out with this guy called Sam Simon. Um, so you might have read about it or seen something about it. Sam Simon was the co-creator of the hit show The Simpsons. Have you heard of The Simpsons? You probably should have. Um, so he did a lot, like getting it going, on the Fox network in '89, and he worked for the first season. Um, so how do you guys feel about his passing?
Uh, I haven't seen that much of The Simpsons to be perfectly honest. The most I've seen of it is the entire first season, a couple episodes of season two, and the movie. But even then, like,
Is that
it
it?
might take a while. The devs, yeah, seriously.
What the fuck?
Well,
Like,
then
The
I.
Simpsons is airing all the time.
What?
Hello?
We're still here.
Still here.
Yo,
Hello?
we're
Yeah, it
still
was
here.
Oh,
lagging
sorry,
like
I
hell over
had a weird
here.
loop. Yeah, that's my internet, unfortunately.
That's
Sorry.
fine. But
It kind of comes and goes.
yeah, I don't blame it. Anyway, but this is still like a very tragic passing because but the guy was battling cancer for about I actually don't know what does it say in the article about his passing.
I don't know. He worked in The Simpsons and then he died.
Really, we're gonna honor this guy's death, and that's all we know about him. uh, I'll read up the article real quick. Okay. Uh,
Yeah.
Sam Simon, co-creator of the hit TV series The Simpsons, has passed away today at the age of 59. The nine-time Emmy award winner got his first cancer diagnosis back in 2012. Oh, Jesus. It's been a long and public battle with colon cancer. Oh, God, that's awful.
Yeah. Although,
Jesus.
like, reading some stuff about him, apparently he wasn't like a very nice person.
Ah, okay.
Like, I am sad, like, when, most people die, and I do appreciate his work.
Yeah.
But going into like some of the detail, like obviously it was really important that he helped co-create The Simpsons, but he only did the first season, and he's quite pessimistic about how long it was going to last. And so
Ah.
like he left in 1993 because he wasn't enjoying it anymore. He said like it turned me into a monster. I go crazy. I hate myself. And he negotiated a deal that um, so he had a share of the show's profits every year, particularly from home media, and
Ah.
executive producer credits, but I have not worked on the show since. And it means he got $10 million a year.
Sweet Jesus alive.
And then later told Stanford Magazine that tens of millions was a closer figure. When I was there, I thought I was underpaid. I thought I
Fuck.
wasn't getting enough credit. Now it's completely the opposite. I get too much credit, and the money is ridiculous. Apparently, when he was working on he worked on the George Carlin show afterwards, and he wrote George Carlin wrote negatively about his relationship with Sam Simon.
Oh wow.
Because Carlin said, "I had a great time. I never laughed so much, so often, so hard as I did with the cast members, blah, blah, blah. There was a very strange, very good sense of humor at stage. A bigger problem, though, was that Sam Simon was a fucking horrible person to be around. Very, very funny, extremely bright and brilliant, but an unhappy person who treated other people poorly."
Jesus Christ.
And Sam Simon said himself, he describes himself as combative, and most people see him as having a bad attitude. So, yeah,
Yeah.
not as nice. I think when someone dies, it's like, oh, look at all the good stuff they did. They don't like evaluate them as a person. And I think if you haven't really done anything noteworthy in like 20 years, you like it's still sad and everything, but it's not like, oh, not him. Like he was still doing stuff and that because he wasn't.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, the last thing he
yeah,
did
at least he won kicking out.
the last thing he did was television production work in 2012, serving as a consultant on director on the series Anger Management for half a day a week. And Anger Management was shit.
I have never heard of that show.
Basically, there was a movie with Jack Nicholson and Adam Sandler, I think, which was a pretty good movie actually. And then for some reason they decided to do a spin-off series called Anger Management with Charlie Sheen in the main role, and he hosts he has anger management himself, but he hosts anger management classes, and it was fucking terrible. It's the most unfunny thing I've ever seen.
Oh man, wow.
It was worse than Two and a Half Men, and that's putting it nicely. Yeah.
But yeah.
Sorry, my thing froze. So, I think in conclusion, I don't think there's anything else really to say.
Yeah, same.
I don't know, be survived by his wife? I don't know. Oh, well, thank you for The Simpsons, and a couple other bits and bobs you did. But, you know, I wish you were a nicer person in your life. And that's basically it. Now, I think this will be a good segue into talking about someone else who died this week. Sir Terry Pratchett. Do you guys know him?
No, I do not.
So, Arthur Women, it kind of stretches beyond animation, but there are animated movies based on what he did.
Oh, really?
So, Sir Terry Pratchett was an English author who started in the kind of early 80s writing, and he's best known for his Discworld series. Have you ever heard of Discworld?
Nope.
Nope.
So Discworld is like a fantasy series of novels based around. You're gonna like this. So like, it's not a planet; it's a disc world. So the world is flat and disc-shaped, right? And it rides on top of 4 elephants, which are stood on a giant turtle called the Great Artuin. So it's pretty madcap. And there's like kind of like 5 main characters. So like Rincewind, Granny Weatherwax, Sam Vines, Lip. I can't remember her name. So like it kind of like each novel like kind of they has their own story, and there's kind of like a loose. They have their own like story arc, and they occasionally interact with each other. But they are all amazing books. I highly recommend them. Like I said on the Master Toons Assembles page, 2 of the books he wrote, The Hogfather and Small Gods. So kind of like what he usually does is kind of like kind of parody or reinterpret like ideas. Like like one of the main characters in all his books is Death, and he has his own idea like how Death talks and stuff. So like like you can never find a book like so witty and the character.
Jack.
Like
Jack.
the main message
Froze
of
again.
the Hog. Huh?
You froze again.
Nothing.
Oh, was I talking?
You froze. Okay.
Yeah,
Froze. Yeah.
Wait, did you hear me talk?
partly. You can continue.
Oh, okay, that's alright. Again. Yeah, I lost my train of thought. Yeah, so like, his theme, it's kind of like he brings kind of like humanity and what's the other word? It kind of like brings stuff down, like, off Earth, down to Earth stuff. So like with God, it kind of brings like a human approach to it. So like, Small Gods and Hogfather both follow kind of like a similar message of like the power of belief, like we make things true by believing in them. Again, like and you can read the books. Standard, like Small Gods is like a standalone book, and you could read the Hogfather standalone. There's actually like a Sky movie thing based on the Hogfather, which isn't that great, but yeah, like the actors are amazing, but the directing is horrible. But one of the things like I admire most about him was his books. Like he wrote so many. I think in the Discworld there's about 42 books written
That's
from.
insane.
Yeah, and that's just Discworld. Like he was doing stuff outside it as well. But so like he had The Light Fantastic in 1983. No, not The Light Fantastic. The Color of Magic in 1983. And at some points, especially I think like in the 90s, he was doing 3 books a year, sometimes 2. Like it was normally like a book a year, which is fucking ridiculous. Like, George Martin, like
That's insane.
George Martin takes George Martin took like 8 years to write his last book. 8 years. Terry Pratchett's knocking out these fantastic books, year after year. And the last few years, he developed this condition called Alzheimer's, which, if you're not sure what that is, it's kind of like it's kind of like dementia, but like it's a disease. Like dementia is like a symptom, and like depending on what kind of Alzheimer's you have, it kind of like eats away at your brain. So it can either like strip away your cognitive thinking and your memory, so you kind of forget who people are. Or luckily in Terry Pratchett's case, it was more physical, so he found it really difficult to type and unbutton.
Oh, Jesus.
So this is what's so incredible. The last few years, I think he was diagnosed 2008 or something. He kept on, writing, but like he had an assistant, and then he got voice recognition software, so he could keep writing books, and he was still fucking pumping them out. I think there might be a Discworld novel coming out this year, and he was doing the longer series with Stephen Baxter at the same time, as well as like his other projects. So it was such a fucking shock that I heard, because I thought the disease had just like hadn't been progressing or regressing. It was like about the same, and then suddenly like he's dead. It's like, what the fuck? But like he was 66, and he was fucking still at the. I mean, it was a little bit slower because of his condition, but he was still pumping them out.
It's insane.
I can't think.
It's incredible.
I can't think of any artist like that. Let alone let alone a novelist. And
Yeah, seriously.
crucially, all his books are still so good. Like, to write a book like every year is incredible, but to make sure that they're good, high quality, and that make you feel something, outstanding work.
Wow.
Yeah, seriously.
So to tie it in with like animation, there are, I think there's 2 films. Well, the one I can remember is he did one called We're Sisters, which is about Granny Weatherwax.
Oh, interesting.
I'm not sure. I've seen bits of it. I'm not too sure how good it is, but I know I'll bring it up because this is actually pretty interesting. Hang on one second.
Wow.
Yeah, fuck it.
Some really high up directors who were looking to do his films. Sam Raimi, I think he wanted to do the We Free Men. So Sam Raimi did the
What?
Spider-Man trilogy. Yeah, Sam
What?
Raimi did the Spider-Man trilogy and the Evil Dead.
Huh?
What?
Nothing.
I'm just surprised.
You heard right.
They've tied it up now. So Terry Gilliam, who did Brazil,
12
Time
Monkeys.
Bandits, 12 Monkeys, loads of stuff. He wanted to do Good Omens, but he
Oh, really?
couldn't get the funding for it. That would be amazing. Good Omens is a fucking great book.
That would be very interesting to see.
DreamWorks commissioned a Truckers adaptation all the way back in 2001, but Pratchett correctly believed it won't be made until after Shrek 17.
Damn it.
Yeah, but the We Free Men with Sam Raimi. So that was actually going to go ahead, but in 2009, Pratchett said he had got the rights back after reading the proposed screenplay, probably because it was so bad, you know.
Yeah.
And lastly, Danny Boyle wanted to do a Truckers movie with someone else in 2008. But these would make really good movies. Like Truckers and the We Free Men would make good, like, family-friendly movies.
Yeah.
And they're really fun as well. Like Truckers, like it's about these really small people, basically kind of like the borrowers. And like it starts off like the small family who live outside, and then they find their way into like a big shopping mall, and it's really well done because like the people in the mall kind of believe, like, because they're so small, they think that's their entire world. That's all there is, and they hear like kind of rumors about like the open sky and rain and stuff, and the guy in charge of the mall, they kind of think he's God, and like Slasher of Prices is like a evil demon, and
that's amazing. Why hasn't someone made that into a movie?
yeah, and like they can kind of like hear.
They would end up with something like the piece of shit Secret of Ariadne that they did a couple of years ago.
Yeah, and like they live a lot quicker than us, like 10 times faster, and so like when they hear someone talk, like it sounds like mooing, like really low mooing, because like how slow we are compared to them. And there's this really interesting like plot device, like called like the cube or something, the thing they call it, but it's like a computer cube which like helps them, and like at the end, you find out in the second book that they actually originated from space and they crashed like 50,000 years ago, and they're trying to get back. Like it's really smart. So
that sounds fascinating. I would love to give that a read.
Well, yeah. Honestly, it's a trilogy. It's like Truckers, Diggers, and Wing. And like as you kind of read it and you think like, could this be a movie? It's kind of like the Borrowers with all like how stuff they work, but with really like refreshing wit and how like they see other people. Because I like a lot of the little guys, I can't remember what they're called. I think they're gnomes. I don't know, but like a lot of them see humans as like stupid, but like the main character can see like how smart humans are. Like they've done all this. But it's all good. It's all good. Seriously, give it a go.
I definitely will. Damn it.
So yeah, I mean, like it would kind of like J.K. Rowling. Like, well, I guess it wouldn't be like that. I don't know. Like, it kind of like it would be like if Stephen King died or something, but like kind of better than Stephen King, like more original. Yeah, like his books like really make you think and really touch you. If you want to, if you like books, you want to read something refreshing, go for the Discworld books. Yeah, Death will become your favorite character. Funnily enough. Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh yeah, little fact. He was in his last appearance, he was played by Christopher Lee. which is pretty funny. Christopher Lee's death. It works. It works.
That would have been awesome. I would
So-
kill to see that.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my recommendation. Like, rest in peace, Terry Pratchett. Please go out and read his books. They're absolutely fantastic. And hopefully, we might get to see some movies based on his books. Good movies. You know.
Yes, good. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not shit. Like, I'm very glad about that
Yes.
Sam Raimi thing, because, like, I could imagine, like, it being as terrible as, like, Odds the Great and Powerful, or just, like, kind of cheesy shit. Kind of loses it.
Fuck that movie. Up the wall and straight into fucking hell. Ugh.
Yeah, it was a pretty shit movie, really.
I might borrow that.
Fuck that fucking.
See, ideally, I would have liked, like, if Terry Pratchett wrote the screenplay, but I guess he wasn't interested in
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't really be that
Yes.
hard. Just put the dialogue from the books into a movie, get someone who can direct, and bam, bam.
Yes, this is what I say to my dad all the fucking time. God.
Okay, so
Why
that's
can't you
that.
just take whatever made the book good and take it out, put it onto a film form, and make it the same quality as the book? I'm looking at you. Fucking something I can't remember. Ugh.
Yeah.
You can't name Harry Potter because you haven't finished the films. Which, by the way, challenge.
I'll have to read the books first, but for me, I have all of them. Well, my parents do, but yeah.
Okay.
Anyway.
Right.
let's
So our
move
next
on.
bit of news. What would you guys like to do?
I'm not sure.
We could
Let me
talk
look.
Tim Burton.
Taking down
Oh, well, shall we
Take
take
down
out
sequels?
Tim Burton? I think we should do the Tim Burton one. I think that's going to be interesting to talk about.
Yeah.
quite sure.
All right.
So here it is. Tim Burton to direct a live-action Dumbo for Disney, which will be a mix of CGI for the elephants and the
Okay,
animals
let
and
me,
live-action. Immediately retarded, pointless.
yes. Seriously, like,
Eh,
just I'm not joking when I say when I first heard this news, I thought it was a joke. I legitimately thought this was a
Yeah.
joke.
Yeah, I thought it was like The Onion or something.
Just Disney. I get it. You want to get very talented directors like Gore Verbinski, Tim Burton, and all these Kenneth Branagh to direct live-action adaptations of stuff you produce. I get that. Here's my question. Give me a logical answer besides money. That's all I ask. You can't.
they don't have it. They don't
Exactly.
have it.
Fuck. Okay, first off, I've never seen the original Dumbo, so I can't really speak from nostalgia or some shit. I actually do have it, but I never got around to watching it. But just who on earth thought this was a good idea? Like, just
Dumbo is really a story. It's really a story you cannot translate to live action even if you try. It's short and to the point.
exactly.
Well, I'll talk with you. I haven't seen Dumbo in years, but I can tell you there is, like, with some movies, like The Jungle Book, for example, I can see what you could remake that with, kind of like make it more like gritty, a little bit realistic, kind of animalistic.
Yeah, we're getting two of them.
Kind of, yeah, two of them for no good reason, but we'll save that for when it comes out, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of them have a problem.
You know, Cinderella, kind of, like, because the actual story in Cinderella is fucking tedious. So if you can make it like a bit more interesting and again, like, kind of like more realistic, kind of more about I don't know, like autocracy and all that stuff, you know. But Dumbo, there's nothing. There's nothing you can do.
Literally, there's nothing. And if you were to adapt it like exactly the cartoon, the movie would only be like 60 to 70 minutes long. Like Stumble, I've heard, is one of Disney's shortest films, which is
It is Disney's
quite
short
logical
film.
when you get into account.
80 minutes, I think.
When you get into account that it was their fourth film. Oh God! Who on earth thought this was a good idea? Who? I want to meet. Okay, if someone at Disney is watching this, like, for no reason at all, I want you to email me, arielrocks@gmail.com. Give me the logical reason that you thought this was going to be a good business decision. Not just with Tim Burton, but with the writer. And if you aren't aware who the writer is, the guy's name is Aaron Kruger. Do you know what masterpieces this guy is behind? All
Die Hard
4 Transformers movies.
Can you imagine
Oh,
the trailer
shit.
for Dumbo? Boom, like an ear. Boom, like a fucking elephant. But stop. It can fly! It's big.
But so like in Tim Burton's artistic style.
I'll tell you what.
Just,
There could be one good thing out of this. One good thing. And that is the elephants on parade scene. That could be good. Tim Burton redoing that.
That would
could
be
be good.
epic.
But the problem is,
Agree.
like, the problem with that is, I think like with Disney kind of stuff's kind of tightened up on like, I mean, yeah, there's still like kind of violence and stuff, you know, like in some films like Bambi, like they killed Bam in front of you. It's like that is dark, but if you watch fucking Pinocchio and Dumbo, it's like who the fuck was allowed to make this? Honestly. I watched the Elephants on Parade scene a couple of days ago. Just like I remember that scene being really weird. I watched it. It's fucking terrifying. There's a bit where like this like kind of Ganesh thing like walks off the screen like the smile like, but with no eyes and no teeth, and it's got like a million heads.
Oh yes, I've seen that. I've seen a screenshot of that.
And then and there's really fucking weird shit. Like, who came up with this? Who came up with this? Who
Walt
said,
Disney.
children will love this. Children will want this. Nice.
Yeah, that's
Walt
exactly what we want to do.
I'll tell you what, I don't think Dumbo and that little rat thing with anyone's drinking when that was made. Do you know what? I don't think it even was champagne. I think it was some sort of weird crystal meth drink. Because I've been hammered. I've been absolutely pissed so many times. Like I said, I've never seen any fucking weird elephants.
Oh wow.
But what? I think about
Okay.
it. Why was that scene even in there? It just
Exactly,
it
like-
serves no purpose.
Because unlike Disney, who were a bunch of pansies who will want to pull a Disney on their films, Walt wanted to try something different every time he make a film. Hence why Pinocchio ended up being as dark as it is.
It's probably
Yeah,
some
dark
pissing
as-
around
what?
then. Like we'll just make the scene like as terrifying as possible because I haven't been done.
Yes. Oh yeah.
I think there's like a kind of a similar scene in like a Winnie the Pooh.
Oh yeah, the Heffalump scene. I remember that.
It's really old. I can't remember, but like that was really weird. I think it was like
seriously.
he was in a dream or something and filling it with water. I don't know. Was it Heffalump?
Yeah, it was Heffalumps and Woozles, I believe. Okay, I'm just checking out something out real quick. Aaron Kruger. What else has this guy done? I want to see. Okay. I have a career. Okay, good. Wait. Alright, just who thought this was a good idea? I'll give a good example. You see the new live-action Cinderella that's come out with by Kenneth Branagh. Like, that makes sense. Like, he's doing his own version of the original tale, and he's doing like his own thing with that. And I mean, I haven't seen it, but I've been wanting to because I I really like Kenneth Branagh. And I feel like
I
feel like there's a lot.
it's decent. I heard it's a decent film.
Yeah, I mean, like I've heard it's good as well. It's like it's holding on like an 84 or free on Rotten Tomatoes. I might check it out soon enough because I've never seen the original Cinderella, but I know the story of it, and I have seen a couple of interpretations of it. With most recently with Into the Woods, which has the balls to actually include the scene where the stepmother cuts off their toes and knees. I am not exaggerating or joking. That is not a joke. There is actually a scene in the movie. It's a musical number as well, where it's the movie is it's a very long music. It's probably like the most musically movie I've seen in a while. There is literally a scene in the movie where it's part of the play as well. It's the scene where Cinderella's like the prince coming up to Cinderella's stepmother and stuff. They're trying to fake the golden slipper and find who it is. There's a musical where the stepmother is singing about how she needs to cut off the toes in order to get them to fit the slipper. Look it up. I'm not making this up.
Fuck. Is this from Disney
Yeah.
or they went on a fucking? Is
Did
this
it
from Disney
work?
or they went on a fucking drunk night?
Seriously.
Did it
That movie
work?
was. I'm surprised by how. Well, no, of course it didn't. Oh, and you know what happened afterwards? You know how in the original Grimm fairy tale, the stepsisters got their eyes plucked out and left them blind? That happens in the movie too, and they show them with like the blind eyes, glassic things. Again, not joking.
So,
Fuck.
is it a good movie?
I thought it was very good actually. Like it was surprisingly really. The problems I had with it was it's surprisingly accurate to the original stage show. I haven't read the original book, but the music's very good. The kids actors are a bit annoying. The third act is a fucking train wreck. Like if you've seen the original show or know anything about it, you know like about that third act. But overall, I thought it was very good. And I think it's one of my. I put it in like in my favorite one of my favorite movies of the year. Yeah, but the problem with it was the biggest problem with it is that it took a little bit too much information from the inspiration from the Grimm fairy tales original, as opposed to the original stage show, because the stage show was hard, like a tongue-in-cheek kind of musical thing, so it kind of makes sense. They played it up a bit for a joke. In the movie, I'm not joking, like most of the time it's set in like this really damp kind of area. It's just most of the play in the movie take place inside the wood, of course. It kind of makes sense, but anyway, I'm going on a tangent. Anyway, so Dumbo.
You have to give a review. Just like
Yeah.
I was just asking if it was good or not.
I'd recommend it, but the problem is avoid it like the plague if you hate musicals, because the opening from the get-go is probably the longest musical number I have seen in years. And it's insane. But anyway, back on the topic of Dumbo.
I do dislike musicals.
I don't believe it. I like them, but anyway, on topic of Dumbo, it's just.
I find him inane, but
It's
yeah,
just
Dumbo.
it's fucking retarded. I'm sorry, pardon my language, but it's just fucking retarded. Who thinks this is a good idea? How is this going to make money? And if you're going to try to do this to make a good movie and add more substance to this, why get the guy who made all the Transformers sequels? Why him?
Yeah. I mean, like
That would be
Alice
like
in Wonderland made. Alice in Wonderland made like over $1 billion, but it was shit. So
Not really.
not really.
It was just
terrible.
It was just boring to me. Like I'm a fan.
Hands down, Alice in Wonderland's one of the worst films I've ever seen.
Seriously, man?
It's everything I hate about modern movies, where I think if they have really good CGI, it somehow makes it a good movie. No.
No, that's not at all.
Pointless. It's like it couldn't decide to be a sequel or a remake. So Alice is walking along like she doesn't really give a shit. It's like, I've already done this before, and it's just a dream. So
Oh yeah, that was fucking
sucks
annoying.
all the tension out, and the story is
Yeah.
dreadful. and the characters are dreadful, and the kind of shit-covered cherry on this piss-infused cake is that horrible dance Johnny Depp does. You know, the
Oh, the flutter whacking.
what the fuck that is like.
It's funny it's pretty funny because Brad Jones has this really funny bit that he did during his top 10 worst movies of 2010 video where he put it at number 3. He went, like, you want to know why this movie's at number 3? The flutter whack. I now know what the flutter whack it is. I look it up. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
I love it.
Okay.
So that's why. Yeah, that's another matter. But does Tim Burton make anything good anymore? I heard Big Eyes wasn't too bad. You know, I think his last good film was probably Big Fish. I can't really think. Dark Shadows. That's worse than Alice in Wonderland.
Oh Jesus!
I hate Dark Shadows so much.
I really don't. I've only seen the Blockbuster Buster review of it, and yeah, that's wow. What were they on? What were they thinking? Jesus fucking God.
It sucks.
Almighty.
So yeah, Dumbo coming soon to a pile of shit near you.
Yeah. Let's just hope for the better. That just doesn't. We just hope this doesn't end up ending up like Alice in Wonderland all over again, or Oz the Great and Powerful all over again, or stuff like that. Ugh, God damn it! Damn you, Disney!
So, what did you want to talk about next then?
Bringing down the sequels.
What sequel?
The 2 Disney sequels. Oh, speaking on the topic of Disney. Recently, they just announced 2 sequels to their 2 most recent animated features. Those 2 being Big Hero 6, which makes sense, and Frozen.
Which makes sense.
Makes no sense.
Okay, I'm gonna have to fight you on this. It does make sense.
Okay.
In a financial standpoint.
I just unplugged my headphones. I want to get this. I want to get all this rage out, and I want to do it precisely.
Yeah.
This is probably the biggest cash grab I have ever seen Disney do.
Yeah.
I mean, I read the article, and it said from John Lasseter himself and the other filmmakers that they had such a great time making Frozen fever for Cinderella, that they wanted to do it again, and they had a great idea for a sequel. That's cool. Could you fucking wait? The movie isn't even 2 years old, and you're already announcing this? And when you take into account the over nearly 60 animated movies that Disney has produced that deserve sequels more than that, and just why? And you know what? You know what's funny about this? This is coming from a guy, I'm not joking, who saw the movie when it first came out 4 fucking times in theaters. I am not exaggerating. So, what is wrong with you, Disney? Like, why do you have to do this? Why? Why have you been just shoving this movie down our throats for the past year? God, I fucking hate this. I just, It's so pointless. It's so stupid. Why? Why? Just why? Why?
Are you
fucking...
done? I'll have a counter argument.
Yeah.
I mean, the most obvious reason is sweet money. Money, 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 money. It's obvious. It makes so much money. Of course they're gonna do a sequel. Why are you surprised?
You know, I'm surprised. I am surprised.
I'm surprised that you're surprised. That you're surprised.
I just.
Why are you surprised?
I don't know. Because I thought maybe Disney would have some slight dignity about what they do for their animated properties and not once, maybe for this time, just once let a harmless film remain a harmless film instead of just constantly milking it for the sake of more fucking sense.
Yeah, but I think like there's more they could do with the story. Again, like I said in the Masked Toons Assembled on the chat, um, like what I mean, what I would do in their position, I'd say, okay, we can go into why Elsa has powers. We can set her up an antagonist who has like the opposite. So like he or she has like fire powers, right? And maybe there's kind of like a parallel with Elsa where like they also got cast out their society, but they had no family or friends to kind of like bring them back from that brink, and they just became more evil and more evil over time. So you can have that, and then like that going on, and then also you can have like Elsa learning responsibility for not only her power but the responsibility of the kingdom, and then trying to look after Anna and Olaf, who's I'd never really liked that much. I thought it was extremely overrated and contrived. That's just my opinion. I have no idea what you're going. I have no idea what you're going to do with Olaf. Maybe Olaf has to find like his own personal meaning of life or something. But
yeah,
that's the ballpark of what I would do for a sequel to make it keep it interesting and emotional and stuff. I actually think that idea would be better than the first one because I thought the first one wasn't that it wasn't an awful movie. I can see why everyone loved it so much, and it is it's good for children, especially young girls. But it just wasn't that great, really. I thought it was pretty overrated. I mean, this is excluding like the hype train as well.
The thing with me was that
I just thought like the story.
Huh?
Hold a minute.
What?
Wait a minute.
What?
Fuck. Ah! Ah! Fucking God! God, man, we're on live TV! On the internet, whatever. Oh, God. I'm never gonna get that image out of my mind. Oh, Jesus, that is right up there with that fucking scene from Coneheads, and you know the one near the beginning. Oh, fucking.
Anywho, I'm gonna be as unbiased as possible with the sequel, because I am hoping that they know what they're doing. Because, like I said on the post, from a creative standpoint, where can you go on from the first movie? And you reply, absolutely
fucking nowhere. There's nowhere to go. I mean, overall quality aside, the movie, I do admit, it does have loose threads that can be wrapped up pretty well. And the movie is done by the same writer, Jennifer Lee, and the same director, Chris Buck, and Jennifer Lee. So there's a possibility that they'll possibly wrap those things up. But when you get down to it, think about it. Disney hasn't done that many sequels. The most I can name off the top of my head that aren't Pixar are The Rescuers Down Under and Fantasia 2000. And even then, when you take into account like all of those horrendous direct-to-DVD sequels, name one of them that actually worked and actually had a reason to exist.
Aladdin. I think Aladdin was good, but not enough to excuse its sequel. However, I just can't fathom that they actually thought this movie can transition to a franchise of all things. However, I'm just gonna keep my mind open.
Here's the thing. I think like maybe the reason why Disney has announced it and why they thought it was a good idea, not just from like money kind of profit, but when you take into account the Frozen fever that premiered during with Cinderella. Again, I haven't seen it, so maybe if like all of us see that and like see how the characters transition into a second form and like a second installment of Social Friend, we can possibly see like how it can stack up. The problem is, the first one,
We don't.
like I love the first one to death. Like I said, I saw it 4 times. It was probably my favorite movie of 2013. The problem with it is 13. Problem with it is that the story, for as surprisingly engaging as it was, it's very simplistic. Like, Elsa is contained with her powers. She doesn't know what to do with it. She doesn't know what to do with her responsibility. She runs off into the castle to be alone because she thinks that's the best idea.
Yeah, that takes half an hour to get going.
And then Anna had to go find her. That's good. Simple setup, simple characters. Just
an hour to get going. That's ridiculous.
Hey, it's better enough waiting a fucking hour to wait for the fucking main character to show up in your goddamn film, only for the director to go, ha ha, you thought you were gonna see them action? No, we're gonna go back to the boring piece of shit characters.
Which film was
Yes,
that?
I am still
Or how about, or better yet, how about give us so much, a lot of build-ups are for nothing, for literally giving me a rush 10-minute episode that you could have divided in 2 parts, so it doesn't feel like I'm unsatisfied piece of shit.
Or better yet, why did you spend so much time building up this all-powerful being that she progresses throughout the entire line, unlocking more and more of her brain capacity to the point where she becomes the lawnmower man, or becomes the Trinity from the Matrix crossed with the Job from Lawnmower Man, only to have, when she reaches 100%, to literally disappear!
I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
Lucy. Luc Besson's Lucy.
You'll see.
You guys are just projecting at the moment.
Ha ha ha. Or better yet, how about we have a movie that is literally nothing? I mean it. Nothing. It's just shots of Ireland, Scarlett Johansson, some weird alien black room.
Yeah, but
And then
she's
nothing.
naked in it.
Barely. Fucking barely. You barely see any of her tits. You see nothing. You see nothing. And you do see a lot of male. You do see a lot of male dick. I hope you like that, because you get to see a lot of that.
I love male dick.
Weird deformed guys with weird deformed faces. Again, I'm not making this up. Trust me, it's a lot more boring than it sounds.
Oh, I don't
Okay.
think so, mate. I don't think so. So, yeah,
Oh, fuck
I don't know
me.
why you're being so pessimistic about Frozen 2. Like, it makes total sense, and there's loads of stuff they could do. It wasn't a very conclusive story.
I guess, but I don't know. Like, this is a thing that's kind of been bugging me for the past, I don't know, year or so.
Like, yeah, the worst that happen is it's not very good, and you have to put up with more Frozen hype, which you didn't seem to be that bothered by.
Oh, fuck it. The Frozen hype.
The
To any of
Frozen
our
hype was
to anyone who remembers watching this, oldest to like newest, if you have been with us since like back in June or late July, you will know I was one of the very, very few. I think I was like among. I don't know. I think there were more. Like you were with me, Pro. I was one of the very few who thought that that movie was going to be garbage. I mean, not just like I was gonna dislike it. No, I thought it was going to be ending up like one of the worst movies I've seen all year. If you have seen any of the marketing for that movie, you will understand why I was so skeptical about it.
Do you wanna build a
And-
snowman? Snowman.
Or as you like to say, do you want to fuck a snowman?
Yeah, with all the little things which are basically ripping off, you know, anything that's ever used, like a bunch of little things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, just I don't know. At this point, like, I actually started this on the cartoon research post. If you know the group, you probably know what I'm talking about. I said I'm skeptical but I am interested to see what they will do, and from the looks of it, it does seem like the filmmakers are. This is something that they want to do, as opposed to like Disney is forcing them to do. Like when you look at like a good amount of like the horrible direct-to-DVD sequels, you can tell those are painfully forced. But I feel like now, like again with the Frozen Fever short, I actually might see Cinderella in like a couple of weeks or so. God damn it, my fucking headphones. In a couple of weeks or so to see like if it's any good or not, and I'll see if the short's any good as well, and see if like I was telling this with Pro a couple of minutes ago. You weren't here, Jack. Like to see like how those characters can transition well into like franchising kind of thing. Like I don't know. It's just. But even then, like even the movie that other guy, the movie I wanted Disney to make a sequel just got announced with Big Hero 6. I wanted to get a sequel of that, and I'm glad they announced that. But
that makes good sense. Yeah. I'm glad
they're doing exactly. That makes sense. Like even and even Wreck-It Ralph, Wreck-It Ralph has potential to be good, have a good franchise out of that. And maybe we will get that because recently, the director of Wreck-It Ralph, Rich Moore, has been tacked on to do their upcoming movie for 2016, Zootopia, which is coming out the same year as Moana, which is being done by Ron Clements and John Musker.
Right.
And it's hard to, you know what? I don't know why I'm bitching at this point. Like I just feel like I just went on a tangent for the sake of a tangent. Like I'm glad Sil wasn't here so I can actually like admit this lightly. Like I'm not ashamed to admit that I really loved Frozen when I first saw it because I was thinking that was going to be one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life or something like that, and I was like, wow, this is actually a pretty good movie, and I just hate when something when you see something like really unique. I'll give a good example. Like, I was one of the very few that was looking forward to Birdman very much. Like, I saw the first teaser trailer for that, and I was fucking excited as hell. And a lot of people were like, it looks okay. And then when it finally dropped, everyone was so great. Like, oh my god, it's so amazing. And I saw it. I agreed with them. And then all of a sudden, like, everyone keeps talking about it. You feel like the thing that you just found, like, I think the Nostalgia Critic actually talked about it. I think he talked about this in his Can Hype Kill a Good Movie review editorial. If you haven't seen that, definitely check it out. It's definitely worth watching.
Okay.
I'll try and like keep that separate, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it is like kind of a point. Like, someone says to you, "This is the greatest movie of all time."
Yeah.
And then you watch it, and it's like it's good, but not so good. You kind of like nitpick it a little bit more. But I still like to keep. Like to think that I'm quite open-minded about it.
That has happened to me so many times. It's not even fucking funny.
Yeah, I think we should move on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The reason why for our viewers, the reason why we haven't talked about Big Hero 6 is like I really like that movie, but in terms of the sequel, there's nothing really I can't. Like, I'm glad it got a sequel, and I'm really glad it's being made. But I just don't know what to make of something like that. It doesn't really give you much to work with other than just to be excited, I guess.
I'm just rooting that movie literally tells Disney to go fuck itself with its tropes. Because the ending of the first film make me pissed, make me angry, and when I rage hard.
I join the club. I mean, you've seen me rage hard.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
yeah.
Let's move on.
Let's move on.
Alright, what do you want to talk about next? I think we should just do like 2 more things and then
Alright, I think so. Let me look at what we got. Looking at right now, we've got... let's see... Alright. Tron Free or teaser trailer for Hotel Transylvania or Genndy Tartakovsky or how to pronounce his name, not directing Sony's Popeye. What do you think?
Whatever you want to talk about. Was that Proto?
Let's end this on let's end this on a Sony related news. First,
Ugh.
Versatile Testing, then Popeye.
Ugh.
Okay.
Sony.
So what was that? What was that first thing?
The first thing was the teaser trailer for Hotel Transylvania 2, and the second thing is the announcement that Genndy Tartakovsky, or however I pronounce his name, will not be directing Popeye.
I'm just gonna watch the teaser very quickly.
Alright, take your time.
I haven't seen the first Hotel Transylvania. I heard good things though.
I really enjoyed it for what it was. It's probably because I'm a massive fan of a very energetic and very cartoony animation and stuff like that. And I enjoy Adam Sandler, not his recent shit like fucking Jack and Jill and shit like that. But I enjoyed some of his earlier films, and I felt like he did a good job as Dracula. Like as a parody of Dracula, as an actual Dracula, he was quite shit.
Uh-huh. I enjoyed it too. I got quite some laughs from it.
So
See,
far, his voice is really distracting because it's very obvious it's Adam Sandler with an accent.
Yeah, but I think that's kind of the joke. But I don't know.
This is one of those films that you really don't expect. You are not expecting some good voice acting. You're just expecting some good jokes.
Yeah. What do you mean? I'm like,
Hell, even they got the king. They got the king of comedy as Dracula's father, Mel Brooks.
Oh yes! Oh, that alone sells me on this movie. Okay, first off, Mel Brooks is hands down my favorite comedian of all time. This guy has taken so much air from my laughter. If he had selling oxygen to people, he would be a fucking billionaire. Young Frankenstein is one of my favorite. It's probably in my top 50 favorite movies of all time. Spaceballs is fucking amazing. If you haven't seen it, it's hilarious.
Yeah.
Blazing Saddles is really great. Blazing Saddles is very good too. The Producers. Oh my god. Do yourself a favor. If you have never heard of The Producers, just watch it. It's on Netflix. And get ready for possibly the funniest payoff punchline in the history of film. Trust me.
I don't know. You'd have to work pretty hard to beat Hot Fuzz.
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah.
That twist is hilarious.
Oh yeah, I love Hot Fuzz.
Yeah.
But anyway, as for I actually read the synopsis for the sequel, and while it does sound, to put it bluntly, kind of generic and quite frankly pretty shit, I have hope because Genndy is a guy, or Genndy, or however the fuck you say it. I seriously have no idea how to pronounce his name. I should really look into that. I have hope that because the first movie's story wasn't that great either, and even then, a lot of the writing wasn't that amazing either. But I think what carried the movie was definitely the actors, the jokes, and the animation. I hope that's kind of the same case here, but I'm not entirely sure. But this movie, I will be there opening day just for Mel Brooks. Seriously.
I swear I've seen this concept before of a hotel for monsters. I think there's a TV series based on it?
I'm not sure. Let me look it up.
There definitely is.
What would it be?
Well,
what would it be under is the question.
I
can think of some old TV shows that were based around monsters living together. The Munsters comes to mind. I think that's how you say it.
No, it's not the monsters. It's something very specific. Was it?
I don't know.
I think it was like a BBC series.
I know it. Crap. Fuck. Let me look. I'm looking at Netflix. I'll look at Netflix right now. I think I saw it there. Was it Being Human? I think.
No, not. Being Human's kind of similar, but it's not the same. Like the one I'm thinking of is like a cartoon series, with definitely.
Ah, okay. Damn it. Then I got nothing. Fuck. I really hate when this kind of stuff happens.
What the fuck was it called?
Ah.
Was it a motel? It's really annoying me now. I want to know.
Yeah, same.
See it later. Find it out later. Right now we have something to talk about. Your thoughts, Jack?
On what?
The teaser.
I have no thoughts. It was moderately funny. I haven't seen the first movie, so I don't really care. So I have nothing to say really, apart from that's the first time I saw Adam Sandler in a role, and all I can that character is just Adam Sandler with an accent. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a very thin line between like having a famous actor with an accent, which actually sounds like a character, than just a famous actor who has an accent and the character is just that. You know, a really good example is Gru from Despicable Me.
Ah.
You know, like, because it's Steve Carell doing a funny voice.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like, it's
Accent he's
more
trying to
than
do.
that. This is fucking irritating me now. I really want to remember what.
Seriously, God damn. Was it an old or new series? Is the question.
Oh, it's fairly old. I remember it from my childhood.
Damn it. Oh God.
Let's try unoriginal.
I haven't even heard of it, and this is bugging me as well. It really does show you how like insubstantial this teaser was, that we're trying to think of like a completely different subject.
Really, really want to fucking remember. This is so annoying. I'm literally going to stop the podcast until I can find out.
Hey, we only have one more piece of news, and then you can do that.
Oh yeah, you guys go ahead. So the next piece of news is Popeye being cancelled. Have a little rage about that while I try and find out what.
All right. Well, it's not necessarily Popeye being canceled. It's the fact that because of Gendy being so busy with not just with Hotel Transylvania 2, but he also has another project under his wing that he pitched to Sony Pictures Animation and Sony themselves to pitch to be made as well, called Can You Imagine, which was announced along with Hotel Transylvania 2. There's actually some concept art for it. It's I can actually find it real quick. Give me a second. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Okay, images. Okay, that's not helpful at all. Okay, a bit off topic, but so I went to search for the art, and this was one of the first still shots I saw. No joke.
Okay. Alright, let's have a
God.
look. Goodbye, Ruby.
Okay, can you imagine?
Put it on again. I can't see.
Okay, give me a second. I have the. Give me a damn it! I have this open in a completely different window. This is where I sent. Get ready.
Okay. What the hell?
Fuck.
I seriously have no idea. I was trying to find the concept art for the movie that he's working on called Can You Imagine, which is about the.
And instead it's just some racist stereotypes.
Yeah,
for that.
It just found some racist stereotypes all of a sudden. What the hell? Anyway, the concept art right here is right here. It's about the ideas of a child, about exploring the ideas of child imagination, and he was working on that along with Hotel Transylvania 2 and Popeye, and I feel like he had some creative differences with. He said he had creative differences with Sony, and that's partly why he had to let it go, and that they're going with a different director because he said they didn't want to make the Popeye that he wrote, because I think he pitched the initial screenplay for it, because beforehand Popeye all we got from it was a simple test animation, which was as best a test animation. It was just showing you like what the movie's animation could look like. There was no script, there was no story, there was no setup and stuff like that. So, and then I think like they finished the screenplay, they pitched it to Sony, and then they rejected it, and he decided to keep the project, I think, but I'm not entirely sure. I don't know how business works, but what I do know about business is that Sony is the devil. That's all I know. Seriously.
Yeah, they're not very
Fuck
respectful of their
Sony.
intellectual properties.
Seriously, I fucking despise Sony. Like, there are two parts. Part of my heart is solely dedicated to my hatred for Sony. No joke.
And the other, it's dedicated to see their upcoming projects coming to life.
Yep.
Such as the Sly Cooper movie, the Ratchet and Clark movie, which they haven't announced since they launched that trailer. Where's the announcement date? So you can get some money and you can get out this crisis.
Well, actually,
You have lost
it's funny you bring that up because Insomniac a couple of weeks or months ago announced that they did a test screening of it, and they're about to announce the release date. They're going to announce a release date for it fairly soon. And by fairly soon, they mean several months. How much you want to bet they're going to announce it like the release date, like the day, like one day before it comes out? I wouldn't be surprised.
That's shitty placement. But back to the topic. It's really sad to see Gandhi go from Popeye because I really wanted to see what he had on mind with the character because the character is really the one of the original good guys of the '60s, and some of the jokes were outdated but funny.
Yeah, especially when you take into account, like, before the test footage, which was shown, he actually went on this big rambling about how, not necessarily randomly, like, I don't know what the word for it was, like, he was talking about how much passion he has for the original Popeye and how it kind of inspired his artistic vision and how his artistic style and of course his humor and stuff like that. And he was saying like how he was, when he did a test screen for Hotel Transylvania, how everyone was laughing at like the physical comedy in it, and how that inspired him to actually try to put more effort and work into getting his Popeye movie off the ground. And I would have loved to see it because it seemed like a guy who, unlike some of the heartless, soulless, cold grasshopper husks that drink infant blood at Sony, he actually has a soul and actually shows some legitimate passion for the things he's doing. And so, of course, they had to let him go.
Yeah, that's
Fuck you, Sony.
because the teaser looked really good, or the test, whatever, looked really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really.
So it's a massive shame, and I don't think they're gonna get someone who could do it better. To be honest, not really.
Yes,
Tony's quality
seriously.
control.
Yeah.
But you know what the most annoying thing is?
What?
Still can't fucking remember that cartoon series. What is it called? God damn it!
It would be funny, like, the moment we turn off the podcast, you instantly remember you can't tell anyone.
I literally, I think I actually might have it. Not even joking. I think I've got it. Hold on.
Oh god, what is it?
Yes! Fuck you! I
Yes,
found
we
it.
found it!
Zombie Hotel.
The fuck?
Zombie Hotel. That is fucking it. It's produced by a French company and shown internationally, but I do remember it from CBBC. The two main characters are Fungus and Maggot, two child zombies who pretend to be human in order to get to their local school, and their family and boarders at a hotel run by their parents. And they soon they make friends with this boy called Sam, who soon finds out that there's zombie powers, and the three of them make a team. And
I'm
there's-
looking at the art for this. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and there was a
Bro,
mummy.
look this up.
There was a mummy. I remember there was a mummy.
What the fuck?
Yes! Fuck yeah! Really proud
What
I
the
managed to find that.
What the hell am I looking at?
Zombie
It looks like
Hotel! Oh,
it
dude,
looks
this
like
is
in Mirror's.
nostalgia.
It looks like Invader Zim meets Scary Godmother.
Yeah. I actually remember it being really good.
Yeah. There's a ton of episodes on YouTube. Check them out, actually.
Oh, dude.
Well, that concludes.
The show was great. Zombie
Concludes
Hotel. Oh no, is that really cool guy with like a tiny head?
That concludes this Master Tune's mystery of what the.
Master Two Mysteries, yes!
Master Tune's mystery is a lot better than fuck.
The character
WrestleMania
was coming
mystery.
back to me, the principal with the weird hair and the big nose, like the big kind of red Disney nose, but it's slightly off colour. And then the chefs. Oh yeah, and Sam was kind of like this like 90s looking kid, like, you know, with the hair and the trousers and stuff. Like, nobody actually dressed in. He wears like 3 layers for some reason.
Wow. I might actually check this out now. Oh man.
Wicked. It was a wicked series.
Was that a terrible Halloween pun?
I don't know. There's probably
Wicked.
some puns. Oh yeah, no, the ghost and the mummy was like a DJ.
Wow.
Forget it, guys. Let's just finish this.
Yeah, let's just finish. 'Cause I'm just really pleased I managed to find it.
Yeah. Hour on.
Welcome to the Master's podcast, where you watch me trying to remember the name of a TV show.
Damn it.
I was like, oh yeah, they just like, you just hear like nothing as I start watching the videos going. Oh, I am really pleased though.
Man.
That's made my night. That's made my night.
Yeah, nice. Anyway, anyway, let's just wrap this up. You want to wrap us up, Jacker?
Yeah. So we're gonna wrap up our news segment now. Tomorrow we're gonna be talking about Yellow Submarine, and potentially some other stuff.
Oh my.
Steven Universe. I think we'll be talking about that tomorrow. The finale on that. So stay tuned. Or stay poon.
Oh, you like Master Poons?
I think that's the reason why like a few people aren't around tomorrow night. Because of May all of you out there find poon, or the opposite of poon, penis.
May the poon be with you.
May you find any genitalia that takes your fancy. We are inclusive, the Master Toon.
Oh man.
So yes, thank you very much for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. Be sure to look us up on Facebook and the Google Circle thing. Not that anybody ever used Google Circle. The only reason why we use Google Circles because of the Hangout. It's quite useful for YouTube.
Yeah.
Okay.
Write us a letter. Send us a telegram. We'll see you. Fine. We'll see you tomorrow about the same time, same place.
Call us at the Master line, the Master Toon sex line.
Well, that's what we call the Master Toons, obviously. Master Toons. Here to open our legs.
It's just you doing like. Oh man.
Oh, what's going on?
And we lost him.
His
We
wide
lost
legs.
him during the wrap up.
His little penis. Oh, fucking hell, we're gonna finish this shit.
Yeah.
This is just embarrassing now.
Yeah.
Alright,
Really?
oh yeah, and usually I can see there's 2 viewers. Hello. Usually there's a lot more people here, but they were all busy on doing various things.
Yeah, most likely.
Yeah. So, see you next time.
See ya.
Bye bye. Bye.
Bye.